Today, our topic is the Stoics' Guide to Managing Expectations. Life is full of surprises, both good and bad, and how we handle these surprises often determines our happiness and peace of mind. The ancient philosophy of Stoicism offers timeless wisdom on managing expectations, helping us navigate life's ups and downs with grace and resilience. At its core, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. This simple yet profound idea can transform how we approach challenges, relationships, and even our own desires. Let's explore how Stoic principles can help us manage expectations and live a more fulfilling life. First, let's talk about what expectations are. Expectations are the beliefs we have about how things should be or how people should act. We expect to get a promotion at work. We expect our friends to be loyal. And we expect life to go smoothly. But life rarely goes exactly as planned. When our expectations are not met, we feel disappointed, frustrated, or even angry. The Stoics believed that much of our suffering comes from expecting too much or expecting the wrong things. They taught that by aligning our expectations with reality, we can reduce unnecessary pain and find greater peace. One of the key Stoic ideas is the distinction between what is within our control and what is not. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "Some things are within our power, while others are not." He explained that our thoughts, actions, and attitudes are within our control, but external events, other people's opinions, and even our own bodies are not. When we tie our happiness to things outside our control, we set ourselves up for disappointment. For example, if you expect to always be healthy, you will feel devastated when you get sick. But if you accept that health is not entirely in your hands, you can focus on taking care of yourself without being overwhelmed by fear or frustration. Another important Stoic principle is to focus on the present moment. The Stoics believe that worrying about the future or dwelling on the past only distracts us from what we can do right now. Seneca, another famous Stoic, said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This means that our fears and anxieties about what might happen are often worse than the actual events. By staying present and focusing on what we can do today, we can manage our expectations more effectively. For example, instead of worrying about whether you will succeed in your career, focus on doing your best in your current job. This shift in mindset can help you feel more in control and less anxious about the future. The Stoics also taught us to embrace discomfort and challenges. They believed that difficulties are not obstacles, but opportunities to grow stronger and wiser. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that when we face problems, we should not see them as setbacks, but as chances to practice patience, resilience, and creativity. By expecting life to be difficult at times, we can prepare ourselves to handle challenges with courage and grace. For instance, if you expect to face criticism at work, you can prepare yourself to respond calmly and learn from the feedback instead of feeling hurt or defensive. Another way to manage expectations is to practice gratitude. The Stoics believe that by appreciating what we already have, we can reduce our desire for more and avoid the trap of constant dissatisfaction. Epictetus said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." When we focus on what we lack, we create unrealistic expectations and feel unhappy. But when we focus on what we have, we cultivate contentment and peace. For example, instead of expecting to have a perfect relationship, be grateful for the love and support you already receive from your partner. This mindset shift can help you appreciate the present and reduce unnecessary pressure. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of humility and self-awareness. They believe that we often overestimate our abilities and underestimate the challenges we will face. By being honest with ourselves about our limitations, we can set more realistic expectations and avoid unnecessary disappointment. For example, If you expect to master a new skill quickly, you may feel frustrated when progress is slow. But if you accept that learning takes time and effort, you can approach the process with patience and persistence. This humility allows us to see setbacks as part of the journey rather than as failures. Another Stoic technique for managing expectations is to practice negative visualization. This involves imagining the worst-case scenario and preparing yourself mentally for it. While this might sound pessimistic, it is actually a powerful way to build resilience and reduce fear. By visualizing what could go wrong, we can prepare ourselves to handle it if it happens. For example, if you are worried about losing your job, imagine how you would cope and what steps you would take to find a new one. This exercise can help you feel more in control and less anxious about the future. It also helps you appreciate what you have now, knowing that it could be lost. The Stoics also taught us to detach ourselves from outcomes. They believed that while we should do our best in everything we do, we should not be attached to the results. This is because outcomes are often outside our control. For example, you can study hard for an exam, but you cannot control whether you get the highest score. By focusing on your effort rather than the outcome, you can feel proud of your work regardless of the result. This detachment helps you manage expectations and reduces the pressure to always succeed. Finally, the Stoics remind us that life is short and unpredictable. They encouraged us to live each day as if it could be our last, not in fear, but in appreciation for the time we have. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This perspective helps us prioritize what truly matters and let go of trivial concerns. By expecting that life is fleeting, we can focus on building meaningful relationships, pursuing our passions, and making a positive impact on the world. In conclusion, managing expectations is not about lowering your standards or giving up on your dreams. It is about aligning your expectations with reality, focusing on what you can control, and embracing life's challenges with resilience and grace. The Stoic principles of self-awareness, gratitude, humility, and detachment offer timeless guidance for navigating the complexities of life. By practicing these principles, you can reduce unnecessary suffering, find greater peace, and live a more fulfilling life. Remember, life will not always go as planned, but with a Stoic mindset, you can face whatever comes your way with courage and wisdom.